Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Awthentik and The Beard. It's your boy, The Beard. This is the Parlay every Sunday morning at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we will be going over all of your fantasy football needs, your NFL betting needs, anything you could think of, we got you covered. Don't forget, if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat and we will get to them as soon as possible. If you're watching us on Facebook, come join us on YouTube and we will be able to see your questions. Shout out to everybody watching us on Twitch and Periscope and Facebook this morning. Let me bring in the boys. What's going on, gentlemen?
What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Ready to be back for another Sunday here, man. I barely got some sleep. Tim just hit me with the text. Yo, you up? I was like, yeah, barely up.
So for those of you that don't know, I'm a full-time reseller and I'm getting ready to launch Over the Years sports division where we're going to be doing vintage sports apparel, memorabilia, and doing sports cards, breaks, and all that. So I've been recruiting people to join my crew, and I've been getting Scotty Booms involved. And last night, Scotty Booms hit a crazy card. Scotty Booms, you want to tell him about the card you hit last night?
Hey.
You know more about it than I do, man. I know it's a 101 Van Jefferson rookie something sweet. Go ahead, fill him in.
It's got it's an autograph and the NFL Shield patch on the card. So it's an RPA 1 of 1. So there's only one of these cards in existence, and Scotty Booms pulled it. First card, first pack of the break. It was insane. So shout out to Scotty Booms.
Sell now price of $20,000. I got PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. Hit me up if you want the card. It's coming your way.
Pretty wild. So before we jump into these games, there is some breaking news that we are going to get into really fast. The Patriots and Broncos game, which was scheduled to be the second Monday football game at 5 o'clock on Monday, has officially been postponed. So yes. So if you have a lineup that has any Broncos or Patriot players in them, make sure you get those guys switched out ASAP because they will not be playing today.
Did they announce the rescheduled date?
They announced the rescheduled date for next Sunday.
Okay.
Which is kind of interesting. So the Broncos, I believe, were scheduled to play the Dolphins next week. So now that game is postponed to a later date. So there's a lot going on. And I believe there's no Thursday night football this week coming up.
Oh, come on.
Because the Bills who are playing on Tuesday night were originally scheduled to play on Thursday night. So instead of them having that like crazy turnaround, they're rescheduling. There's no Thursday night football.
I'm spoiled, man. I want football 7 days a week.
I know, and I was kind of boosted when they moved the game to Tuesday. I'm like, yeah, I need a game, just about every other day here.
That'd have been crazy. You would have had Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Like it's just, it's awesome. So yeah, that's the situation.
Oh, let's shout out some people in the chat.
That's what I'm about to do right now. Shout out to Kevin Homewood, says game on.
Indeed.
My man Cernock is in the building. What's going on, brother? How you doing? Checking in from West Virginia.
What up?
My beautiful girlfriend, Josie, is in the building.
What up? Hola.
Hola. Girlfriend is in the building. Gretzel, what's going on? How are you guys doing this morning? Who else we got here? PJ checking in. What's going on, PJ? How you doing, brother?
Torres.
And 808 Cliff says, happy Sunday, my guys. Go Big Blue.
What up, Cliff? I like the 808 Cliff. I like the name. I hope you cranking some 808s, man.
Giants are in the building. Giants fans are in the building.
Let's go.
Mama Homewood.
My Dukes.
Well, all right, Scotty. And then Benny, longtime viewer, day one. What's going on, Benny? How you doing, brother?
What's up, Benny?
And my man, Kyle Key, another Texans fan, is in the building. I know he's kind of happy about Bill O'Brien finally being fired. So I got a lot. Yeah, I got a lot of love on the Texans today as far as fantasy plays. I think Deshaun Watson is going to have a bounce back week. He's really cheap in DraftKings right now. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get cracking on these games. First game we're going to take a look at today is going to be the Carolina Panthers, 2-2 at the Atlanta Falcons, 0-4. The Falcons are 1.5-point favorites. The over-under is 53.5. This game kicks off on today at 1:00 p.m. Scotty Booms, what you got for me on this game, brother?
I can't lie to you guys. I didn't know the Falcons hadn't won a game yet. That kind of had slipped my mind.
Yeah, man. That offense
division.
high-powered.
It's a
That
team you
division's
don't
wide
start
open.
slow. It's definitely wide open. I mean, the fact that Carolina has 2 wins and Atlanta has 0, that's crazy to me because now we got Atlanta as the favorite.
Carolina surprised Arizona last week, right?
Yep.
And they beat the Chargers too, didn't they?
Yeah, I think so.
They
Yeah.
have a couple decent wins against good teams. With that being said, interdivision matchup, I just feel like Atlanta always has Carolina's number the last couple years since like Cam Newton fell off and the Panthers kind of took that little bit of a swan dive. The Panthers have lost 8 of their last 9 games against the Falcons, believe it or not.
Wow.
Matt Ryan's got the recipe. I'm going to take Atlanta. Atlanta, you said -1.5?
-1.5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think Atlanta's going to cover that 1.5, and it's going to be a barn burner. Shootout for sure, over 53 points. Bridgewater's doing his thing in Carolina. I like him. They got some talent over there, but Atlanta, I mean, they got, other than Dallas, probably the best receiving core in football, maybe even better than Dallas.
Yeah, I agree with you. I definitely think Atlanta's going to cover that too, and I think we're going to get there for sure. Teddy Bridgewater been playing some good football, and the Falcons, man, they got their back against the wall. I want to say that this is the first time they 0-4 since 1999. Yeah, 1999. If they go 0-5, it'll be the first time they've been 0-5 since 1997. I don't see that happening. And the coach over there, he's on the hot seat, man. Everybody's been talking about him this week. But I don't know, man. I kind of feel like they got faith in him over there because he did finish last season pretty decent after Atlanta got to a pretty terrible start there. If he could kind of just get things clicking, I mean, that offense is so high-powered. You get Julio Jones back to like 100% healthy. The Falcons could get back in this race, I feel like. But it's got to start this week for sure, 100.
Do you guys have anybody who you think is a standout player this weekend in fantasy football for either one of these teams, or anybody that you think you just kind of totally want to stay away from?
Give me the receivers for Atlanta for sure. I mean, always, anytime. I love Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley is that next big superstar that people are also kind of sleeping on a little bit, but he's a beast. He's going to be as good as Julio Jones when it's all said and done.
Yeah, that's facts right there. And I think a player to really keep your eyes on here, maybe not for good, but maybe not for bad either, is Todd Gurley. I mean, he's slowly but surely looking pretty decent this year. I got him on my fantasy team. I've been sticking him in that lineup and just putting my faith in him, and he hasn't let me down. I mean, he hasn't had no terrible games, but no real like jump off the screen games. So I'm waiting for him to have a big game too. It's going to be real tough with that passing game over there in Atlanta, man. But we'll see how that goes.
It was super interesting.
You're a Todd Gurley guy. You like Todd Gurley.
I do, man.
I've always been a Gurley guy too. Gurley and Melvin Gordon. I just think that for a short period of time, I had both of those guys as top 5 running backs. It was about 2 years ago, but
physicality, man. I like those physical running backs, man, that run tough like that. People been talking about that problem in New York a little bit, actually, with Saquon Barkley running sideways. So you see Devonta Freeman coming in here running straight, and you see some success. So I like those kind of backs. And I remember a lot of people were down on Derrick Henry the year before he won the rushing title. So, got to stick with those physical bruisers, man.
Awthentik and I are actually playing each other this week, head-to-head in fantasy football.
Who's favored?
Awthentik is favored by a lot.
Oh, I'm highly favored.
The way he said that.
It's
Straight
Sunday.
So for me, I will tell you guys, I have a Carolina Panthers stack in this game. So I have this is basically free DraftKings advice here, ladies and gentlemen. So I have Teddy Bridgewater stacked with Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, and bringing it back with Calvin Ridley. So that's a little portion of one of my main lineups this weekend. So
was it you that sent me the joint with Robbie Anderson not knowing, or was that Scotty who sent it?
It was in the chat. It wasn't me. I think
hey, when you
Scotty
get a chance,
PJ.
man, check out that video of Robbie Anderson not knowing who the Carolina Panthers mascot is. Oh man, that joint was classic.
He didn't even know what type of animal it was. He was like, "What's that bear doing over there?" And the guy's like,
what was what's the Carolina Panthers mascot's name?
I can't even remember.
Oh, Paul. Is it Paws or Meow or something?
He was like, y'all actually called him that? And they were like, yeah. He was like, I ain't calling him that. It's like Papa Paws or something crazy. It's something crazy. That joint had me crying.
Oh man. So yeah, I was leaning towards taking Carolina, and then Scotty Boom started hitting me with those numbers. That kind of threw me off a little bit. I think Atlanta finally gets off this game. So I'm going to go. I'm going to take Atlanta. I'm going to take Atlanta minus 1.5. I'm definitely going to take the over as well at 53.5. But I wouldn't be surprised if Carolina sneaks out of this with a victory. I mean, they've been playing really well lately. So
it's that kind of game. That last 9 game statistics Scotty put up, that's very surprising, man.
Yeah, and the thing is that like I typically, if I was if I was betting, I probably would stay away from this game. I don't like to bet on games that are
division games.
Not necessarily division games, but games that are that close in points. But actually, now that I'm looking at it, it's 3.5 now. The line is now 3.5. Would you still take Atlanta 3.5?
I bet on them at 2.5, so I'd definitely take them at 3.5. I think.
Yeah, I think if Atlanta wins, it's not going to be a close one. I think it'll be like, I don't know, something high, good 35 points.
I mean,
maybe.
you guys know the way division games, like when you own somebody in your division, that can happen over an extended period of time. There was that time in the NFC East like 5 years ago when it went like a circular motion. The Eagles were always crushing the Giants. The Giants were always crushing the Cowboys, and it was like they were all beating each other on a consistent basis. It's weird.
All right, we got our first question of the show. Pick 2. Now, every time we get a question, we're trying to do rapid fire, so we make sure we get everybody's questions in. Pick 2: Tyler Lockett, Miles Sanders, Calvin Ridley, Will Fuller, Jamison Crowder, Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, or Robbie Anderson.
That's
standard,
a good bunch.
not point per reception. Standard. Pick, who's your 2, Booms?
I would go Miles Sanders, but I think Pittsburgh defense is real, so I'll take Calvin Ridley and then give me Adam Thielen.
I'll go with Calvin Ridley as well, but give me Jamison Crowder. Today we got Joe Flacco starting over there with the Jets, and man, watch out. I think Joe Flacco's a lot better of a quarterback at this moment than Sam Darnold is, and that should be really interesting. I mean, not too many weapons over there with the Jets either, and Jamison Crowder is probably the one and only weapon now with Robbie Anderson out of there, and also Le'Veon Bell, I want to say, is active this week too. I don't know if he's going to play, but we're going to see.
So my 2, I'm going to go Calvin Ridley, and I like Justin Jefferson. I think Justin Jefferson is a stud. I think he's a star. I've been talking about him for forever now, and he's had back-to-back huge weeks, and he doesn't necessarily rack up the receptions, but man, he is catching the deep passes, and that's what matters for me in a standard league. So, next question before we go to the next game. Start 3, bench 1. Derrick Henry, Miles Sanders, Jonathan Taylor, Jerick McKinnon.
Ooh, that's a tough question.
That is kind of
okay.
tough.
For me,
I'm benching Miles Sanders.
Now, this is interesting, though. There is always a possibility that this Titans game gets postponed again because they had another staff member test positive this morning. So if your commissioner does not allow you to do that replacement, if that game gets postponed, I'm not taking the risk, and I'm going to start. I'm actually going to start Jonathan Taylor and Jerick McKinnon. Those would be my 2.
It's start 3, buddy.
Yeah, start 3.
Start
bench
3.
1.
Okay,
yeah.
so Miles Sanders, Jonathan Taylor, Jerick McKinnon.
Yeah, I'm on that same train just because you don't know. I mean, what you don't know can really hurt you in fantasy football. So you go with the known because those guys are all solid pickups. I mean, Miles Sanders has a tough matchup, but he's still guaranteed probably 15 touches. So you can't lose with the 4, but because of the possible postponement of the game, you got to be safe. Like the Beard said, go with those 3.
Yeah, Bud Dupree, bro, different kind of animal. We saw him week 1. That Philly does not really impress me yet. And it's hard for me to even just get on that Miles Sanders train this year because Philly's just such a bad team offensively right now. But still, managing to be in the mix. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, this next question is going to be fairly easy for me because I'm not going anywhere near Le'Veon Bell. So I'm going Drake, Jonathan Taylor, and Mike Davis.
And Drake has been a bit of a disappointment this year.
He has. And I think he's going to have a bounce-back game this week against the defense they're playing is pretty bad against the run. So I'm expecting a bounce-back game for Drake. All right, next game. We have the Las Vegas Raiders at 2-2 at the Kansas City Chiefs 4-0. The Chiefs are 11.5-point favorites. The over-under is 55. Authentic, tell me about this game for you.
I mean, the Chiefs are probably the number one team in the NFL right now, offensively, and their defense is playing lights out. You saw Honey Badger doing his thing last week. I mean, the Raiders are good, but, you know, Derek Carr has struggled against the Chiefs, man. I want to say he's only got one win in 8 games against the Chiefs or something like that. I mean, I got to go Chiefs 11.5. Is that what that is?
Yep. That's a hefty spread for a divisional game.
I'm gonna say, I don't think the Chiefs get 11.5 on top of them. I think this game will play out kind of like how the Chiefs played out against the Chargers, and I think the Raiders could keep it kind of close. But I see the over/under is 55. I think we get to the over, but the 11.5, yeah, nah. I think the Raiders keep it close, and it'll be like a 7-8 point game.
Booms.
Yeah, I'm right there with the Authentic. The Chiefs, they're playing great. Their defense is playing really good this year. But historically, in the Mahomes era, the last 2 years, 2.5 years, they've struggled against teams they should destroy to a point where it's like maybe not they're going to lose, but it goes to the fourth quarter closer than you would imagine it could be. And the Raiders, I mean, they're boring. Derek Carr, his stats look good, but he's kind of like a check down Charlie to me. He hasn't really expanded his game to be explosive enough to keep up with the Patrick Mahomes-led Chiefs. So, yeah, I'm going to have to go. I mean, I'll take the Raiders at 11.5, at plus 11.5. Under 55, though, I think Mahomes is going to struggle a little bit to start off. I don't think they're going to put up 45 points. Yeah, give me the Raiders at plus 11.5 and under the 55.
Let me give you a stat that I remember from yesterday about this game here. Derek Carr, I want to say, has the active streak for games without an interception at 8. Dating back to last season, which is kind of interesting. He's quietly playing really good football. And I remember watching Football in the Morning on NFL Network, and they were talking about how Russell Wilson had never gotten any MVP votes, and Derek Carr has gotten MVP votes that one season where he led them to the playoffs. And I think Derek Carr is a quarterback in the mix, man. A lot of people not talking about sleeper quarterback who if he could make that next step, and Gruden could put the pieces around him, which I think he's doing already. He's done a fantastic job to this point when what was it, 10 picks they had got or something like that. I think Derek Carr, he could be a quarterback to be messed with. Like, you know, if he makes that next step, he's gonna take that, you know, that Eli Manning kind of thing when Eli got that Super Bowl, if you know what I'm saying, like, and then put himself into an elite category of quarterbacks, because I remember last year even people talking about Derek Carr was a bum, you know.
Which is crazy.
It's crazy.
In completion percentage last year or something, and almost threw for 4,000 yards. But I mean, Raiders fans don't like him that much, and his stats look good, but he doesn't really pass an eye test. Like I said, he's kind of a check down guy.
And he's been missing that receiving core. Is just, even though they were young, they've been hurt so far this year. Like, you saw flashes of Henry Ruggs' potential in like the first game, the second game. He caught those bombs. Yeah. And like ever since he's been hurt, you've been seeing a lot more of what Booms has been talking about with the checkdowns. Me personally, I'm going to have to agree pretty much across the board with you guys. I think the Raiders do make this close. I think they cover the 11.5 points. I also think that they do hit the over, though. And I am going to stack. I'm going to stack a Kansas City Chiefs today in DraftKings. So I'm going to go Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to go cheap with Mecole Hardman. I'm going to go running back Clyde Edwards, and I'm going to bring it back with Darren Waller at tight end for the Raiders. So those are some of my fantasy plays for this game. Travis Kelce, though, too, is super tempting at tight end. I might even do tight end with Kelce in that stack and then put Waller at my flex position on DraftKings for that lineup.
A cheap stack is never a bad idea.
It's not, but it's difficult to get like the right one because they always switch it up. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it's Kelce, sometimes it's Sammy Watkins, sometimes it's Tyreek Hill. Like you never know which one of the bunch. I run
that stack every week. I don't care if they give me 5 points one week. Hey, might be 500 one week. You never know.
Kind of crazy. All right, so the next game we're going to jump into.
Hey, McGinnis just hit me up for fantasy advice. I'm like, bro, tune into the show, man. Come on. He's like, you think the Giants going to do this?
Did you send him the link?
I'm about to now.
Yeah, send him the link. Tell him to jump in the chat and we'll take care of him. I did see one other quick question. I'm going to go up to, I don't want to miss you, brother. It was a tight end question. Start Eric Ebron or Evan Ingram?
I haven't had my eyes on Ebron this year. Has he been doing anything?
He got a touchdown pass last week.
Yeah.
Evan Ingram ain't got no touchdowns.
I'm going to Ebron.
Yeah, I think, nah, you know what? Today, we going Evan Ingram.
There you go.
Because it's make or break for the New York Giants today. They got to win this game. We want to turn this season around. It's wide open
They are
now.
playing Dallas, so maybe I should say Evan Ingram.
I'm going Evan Ingram. And he had a pretty decent game last week. I want to say he had 6 catches for 60 yards. He had no touchdown, but he was definitely involved in the offense. I think they need to just flex him out, put him in the slot, man, especially with these injuries we got at wide receiver. Man, just turn dude into a wide receiver. He can't block. You know, he runs a 4.4 40. He could be a wide receiver.
I'll take Eric Ebron, man. He's playing Philadelphia, right? He's playing for the Steelers.
Yo, McGinnis is here, and I must say, I absolutely love your YouTube name, King of the OC.
He ain't lying.
Because McGinnis was killing it down in Ocean City when he was working down there, man.
This dude had like 5 blondes on him when I pulled up on him one time in Ocean City. I was like, where are you meeting all these people?
Yo,
one of the smoothest talkers I ever met in my entire life. This guy.
Facts, bro.
Shout out McGinnis checking in from Colorado. What's going on, brother? He said, I made it like 15 years ago. That's my man. So, all right, we're going to give you a second to type your fantasy question in the chat, McGinnis, while we start this next game. Jacksonville Jaguars kind of stumbling a little bit lately. 1-3 at the Houston Texans, 0-4. The Texans are 5.5-point favorites, and the over-under is 54 with a 1 o'clock kickoff today. I know we got a bunch of Texans fans in the chat right now. Scotty Booms, where are we going with this game, brother?
Houston 5.5-point favorite.
Yep.
Isn't that interesting? So there's 2 winless teams today that are both favorites. Isn't that crazy?
That don't make no sense. Them in Atlanta. That don't make no sense. But, yo, Vegas be spot on. I swear. I don't know what they got going on. Who's in cahoots with who?
Smarter people than us, Awthentik. That's all you need to know.
I bet. Man, let's not even give them that credit. They just putting in the work. You know, they doing the research. I just woke up like 35 minutes ago.
I'm like 45 minutes ago, so we're right there. But now,
I got a cup of coffee.
I'm not a Romeo Crennel guy. I don't think he's the answer for Houston. I don't think Houston thinks he's the answer for Houston. But I do think that the Texans are going to get their first win today and cover the 5.5 points. This Jacksonville secondary, you know, their defense is not really good at all. This is exactly the type of team Deshaun Watson goes off on. So give me Houston minus 5.5 under the 54 points, though. They might not have a huge game scoring-wise. But I think it's going to be a Houston win for sure.
Awthentik?
It's a hard game to pick, man. Houston winless here. I think I'm going to pick the Jaguars to win this game. Oh, shout out to Romeo Crennel, too. Oldest head coach ever. He's going to be the oldest head coach ever.
Really?
How old is he?
I don't know how old he is. 73.
Romeo Crennel is 73?
73 and 115 days old.
He looks like he's 60, 50, 40.
No, he doesn't.
Hey, black don't crack.
I was going to say it, but I figured I'd let Awthentik say it.
The oldest coaches before him are Marv Levy and George Halas.
How old was Coughlin? Coughlin like he was 80.
Coughlin was pretty old. I know Coughlin was like 70. I need an Alexa right here during the show so I could be like, Alexa, how old is Tom Coughlin?
Why do you guys say it like that?
Somebody's Alexa just went off because of you saying that, and I'm listening to it. I guarantee you.
Hey, Siri.
Yeah, but I think I'm going to go Jaguars. And what is the spread here?
The spread is 5.5.
I think the Jaguars are going to win that game by 3. That's going to be a close one. And 54, we're not going to get there.
No.
Nah, we're not going to get there.
All right, before
I'm looking for a bounce back game from Gardner Minshew. And one quick statistic about their running back, James Robinson. Him and Alvin Kamara are the only running backs to have over 100 yards from scrimmage in the last 3 weeks. So keep an eye out for that kid, too.
So before Booms and I get in, McGinnis has finally typed in his question. Giants been giving up about 10 fantasy points to opposing defenses all season. You think that trend keeps going against the awful Cowboys defense, or can that defense be plugged in for the matchup?
I mean, that 10 fantasy points, that's turnovers, because the Giants are good for at least a turnover a game. A lot of times 2 turnovers, and they don't score any points. So right there, you're talking about 10 to 15 points are probably giving up. If there was a team to actually avoid it be the Cowboys, because I mean their defense is no good. So if the Giants have a 30-point game this season, it could be today. I don't know. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of faith in Daniel Jones and that offense right now.
Yeah, it's looking pretty crazy right now. But this could be the bounce back game that'll change everything for the New York Giants. You got Jason Garrett going into his old town here. He knows a lot about the Cowboys. The Cowboys know a lot about him too, which could help both sides of the ball, defensively for the Cowboys, offensively for the New York Giants. I just think that Daniel Jones is going to get it together this week. I think that the emphasis in practice all week has been get the ball down the field. I mean, the Giants have just been terrible getting the ball downfield. We're 31st in the league with rushing. So across the board on offense, we got to get things in line. I see the Giants coming out here and putting up about 30. So I don't think you would want to start Dallas defense today. And I mean, that pass defense is second or third to last actually in the league to Seattle and Atlanta. I'd stay away from them. I'm sure you could find somebody with a better matchup today than the Cowboys against the New York Giants.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree. Until Dallas shows me that they know how to play defense, I just have absolutely no faith in plugging them in. I mean, every team that they've played has put up their defense. What's the number that their defense is allowing per game? Is it like
36 points,
36.5
points, and it was like 450 yards a game.
Yeah. I mean, I can see where you're going with this. Like, I can totally understand why you would think about putting him in against the Giants. But it's just
why? What are you saying?
Tough.
That's a terrible question. Why would Matt McGinnis even have the Cowboys defense on his roster? He's a fantasy guru. We've all played in leagues with him. He knows what he's doing.
Facts. It's a good thought for a play, because you're always trying to look and find the defenses that match up against the bad offenses. But this ain't like the 90s Browns or something. I don't know. The Giants have been struggling right now, but don't question that they can't put points up on the board at any given moment. Daniel Jones, he's proven that he can play in this league. He's had a rough start. All the preseason talk and all the COVID excuses out the window. We got to come out this week and ball out. And I see a lot of Big Blue Nation in the chat. Shout out to all the Big Blue Nation people in here. David, Marjorie, Cookie Monster. Shout out, y'all. We getting that dub today. We got to get that dub today.
Giants is deep in the chat today, man.
They feel a certain kind of way. If you saw Kyle Pizzle last couple of days, he's been really like hitting it. This is the game.
Hey, I'm glad you brought him up, man. Shout out Kyle Pizzle, man, the OG legend of this YouTube stuff, man. He's had his channel since like about 2006 or something crazy like that. I saw he was live, and Kyle Pizzle's not live that much, man. So I saw he was live after our podcast on Thursday, and I still had all our stuff set up, and I was like, man, let me just go tap in with him and just give him a quick salute. And man, it was almost like we was catching up like old friends from high school or something, man. We ended up staying on the chat for like an hour and a half, chopping it up, talking Giants football. He's super confident in this game too, man. He thinks we got a alley-oop for a W this week. I like that. And I'm excited about that, man. So shout out to Kyle Pizzle for having me on the show, man, and all the new subscribers, et cetera, et cetera. From that stream that we did, man, because it was just awesome chemistry, man. I had a great time being on his show, man. I hope that can happen again, because he also said if we get the dub, he's going to invite me back. So we got to get this dub.
Oh, yeah, we need the dub done. So my homie Jimmy from Old School Flip says he's got a fantasy question. I have two questionable wide receivers and have to start one of them, Deebo Samuel or Marquise Brown. So for me, obviously, I'm just watching the news, because whichever one is more likely to play, then I'm plugging them in. I think, doesn't San Francisco play at 4:00 today? So if that's gonna be kind of difficult. You might have to go with you checking that. What does San Francisco play at 4? Booms?
I don't even have them on my sheet. Oh, there they are. Okay, I got them here. Hang on.
They play at 4?
4 o'clock.
4.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you might have to play Marquise Brown, or it might work into your favor. So what I would do is watch the inactive list. If Marquise Brown is inactive, then you have to go to Deebo Samuel. If Marquise Brown is active, then you start him, because you don't know if Deebo is going to be active or not. And by that time, you're not going to have that slot available. So that's, to me, is the only option.
Facts. Yeah, you broke that down pretty proper.
Garoppolo's back too, I think, right?
Yeah, Garoppolo is back today for sure.
A good pick. And, the Ravens, they're not, the Bengals have a terrible rushing defense. So the Ravens might just run the ball 60 times and never throw it once. So,
that's facts.
It's tough.
All right, so I got to pick Houston and Jacksonville Jaguars. I've been preaching his name all year long. Laviska Shenault. He's going to have a big game today. I definitely am playing Laviska Shenault across the board. I like Awthentik too, talking about Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew might have a bounce back game. I think this game's going to be pretty close. I think the Texans might pull away, but I'm going to take Jacksonville plus 5.5, and I'm going to take the under at 54. Booms.
You talking about Houston, Jacksonville? What game?
Yeah, Houston and Jacksonville.
Yeah, I already took Houston minus 5.5. We picked that one.
Yeah, we
took them. All right. So next game we're going to attack is going to be the Arizona Cardinals, who are 2-2 after starting 2-0, are 7.5-point favorites at the New York Jets, who are 0-4 with Joe Flacco, and the over/under is 47. I love hearing Scott Van Pelt say Flacco.
Because he's from here, right? Silver Spring.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out Van Pelt. I ain't know
he
that.
broadcast. They moved his special Sports Center show to DC now.
Oh, word.
He's broadcasting live from DC. Oh yeah, I forgot to. Yes, James Robinson will have a huge game today for sure. Shout out Chris Senior, who changed his name. Wasting players. That's what we do.
I like it.
So yeah, no Bill O'Brien. Kyle Key says the Texans get their first win. PJ, yeah, I'm gonna start pulling up the injury report here very shortly. This is also towards your question, Jimmy, who says that that Debo did not practice all week. Marquise Brown practiced Thursday and Friday and is expected to play. They say that I don't look like John Cena today, so
because they can see you today.
I don't know how that changed, but I'm surprised nobody gave you to Conor McGregor yet either.
I know, right? I think it's because I wear glasses now.
Yeah, you don't look like you knocking people out in 10 seconds.
Exactly. All right, so who wants to take this game first? Cardinals at the Jets.
I'll take it first. It's a tough one to pick, but you got to go with the Cardinals here. Games over 10.5, the Jets are 0-for-4 against the spread this year, which is pretty terrible. DeAndre Hopkins is the leading wide receiver as far as receptions go in the NFL. I think that the Cardinals are going to cover, man. And what are we looking at here? 47? Nah, I don't think we get there just because I got the Jets getting maybe blown out in this game, even though I want to see Joe Flacco do kind of well today, but I got them getting blown out, so I don't think we're going to get there today.
I think Arizona's moving in the wrong direction. Their last two games have not been pretty. They started really well this season, but the offense and the passing game particularly has been underwhelming. If there was any other team other than New York Jets they were playing, I would probably take them to the underdog. But the New York Jets are just trash. They're the only team in football that are bottom 3 in points scored per game and points allowed per game. So they're not doing it on either side of the football right now. I don't think Joe Flacco is going to win this game for the Jets, but I will take the Jets at +7, believe it or not. I'm not totally sold on Arizona and Cliff Kingsbury yet. So yeah, give me the Jets at +7 under the 47 points. So it's going to be ugly.
Are you surprised that they went to Flacco instead of the rookie James Morgan for the Jets?
They're smart. They're smarter than Washington football team. Instead of just rushing him, he's not ready and then benching him prematurely.
Okay, so I do have some inactives and actives to announce. Just gonna go through the ones that people are probably interested in hearing in the most. Atlanta Falcons, Julio Jones is inactive.
Oh, that's tough, man.
Julio Jones is inactive.
Ridley, boy.
Again, right?
Ridley.
I think it's a hamstring or an ankle. I'm not 100% sure.
Man, he's a physical wide receiver though, but it's tough for him to stay completely healthy.
Oh, Jaguars are going to be without rookie corner CJ Henderson, and defensive end Josh Allen is also inactive.
Houston's getting that dub today, boy.
Houston,
getting that
Will
dub.
Fuller, expect Will Fuller to come out and have a big game now after that sort of news. The Jets, Sam Darnold, we already know, is inactive, and James Morgan is inactive. What happens if Joe Flacco gets hurt?
Wide receiver.
That is crazy to me.
I've seen teams do that before too, and like you see, I don't know if y'all remember back in the day when Brian Mitchell played a little bit of quarterback for the Redskins one time when y'all only had one quarterback active.
That was before its time. He was like almost wildcatting it, but he was throwing the ball a little bit too.
Yeah.
Shout out Brian Mitchell, man. Legend.
Man.
Yo, Brian Mitchell showed some love to the podcast last year too. Definitely shout out Brian Mitchell.
Yeah, Brian Mitchell been liking still likes our posts on Instagram. So yeah, shout out B Mitch. Check him out on Team 980 during the week. Him and Scott Lynn. We got a dope
next week, man. We're
getting that'd be awesome. I'm gonna reach out to him and be like, hey B Mitch, man, I need you to come on for 10 minutes, bro.
Facts.
What's good? Shout out to my boy Jim Bob. James is in the building. He's a stout Steelers fan. Where is Haskins going? I don't know. People say he's asking for a trade now. So
is that what they're saying?
Quarterback, man, hitting the
pump the brakes, man. I think he'll be back late in the season when the Redskins are eliminated.
Just got a sleeper alert that Haskins could be traded by end of the day.
For what?
Where did we get that information? And who? Yeah, what are we trading for Dwayne Haskins?
Yo, the dude's name is Jimmy Lee.
Fifth round pick.
Fifth rounder?
Fifth round pick.
Yeah, right. You'd be lucky to get a fifth rounder for like Evan Ingram right now.
You think it was 6th round, 7th round?
No round.
What? Look, I'm not going to go too much into this Dwayne Haskins stuff because I think
we could probably get maybe a water boy.
But the way that they keep these stories keep leaking about Dwayne Haskins, right? Like, come on, man, it's a smear campaign. If all this stuff was true, they would have been saying this before. Now they saying, they benched him because he was bragging after the Ravens game and all this other stuff. Man,
bragging about what?
Welcome to DC, baby.
I hate it. It's killing me. I'm done. No more Haskins talk. Should I flex Terry McLaurin or Jonnu Smith?
McLaurin starts every week. He should sit
every week. No matter what. My lineup don't change, yo. Stack with the Chiefs, Terry McLaurin every week. I'm choosing between Odell Beckham and Darius Slayton every week. That's literally it.
All right. I'm taking the Cardinals to cover 7.5, and I do not think we get to 47 either. So.
What's the over/under on Haskins getting traded?
I don't know, but I'm sure there's a line.
No way. Who's trading for him?
I know.
Dang, look at this. Dwayne Haskins won't be in the building today.
He's not active.
Yeah, what's the point?
And are they on the road?
No, but when you're inactive, you're still on the sideline.
No, and that's not necessarily true because, listen, the media made a big story about it last week about Saquon Barkley and Sterling Shepard traveling with the team. They were like, why did they need to be there? If y'all are traveling, then it makes sense. If y'all are at home and he's not in the building, he's on punishment. They got him in the camp.
Look who's in
y'all
the
are
building.
At home? That's strange. That's strange,
Look
bro.
who's in the building
Kyle Pizzle in the
good?
building. Shout out to my man one more time. If you got the chance, definitely go check out his videos, man. If you a Giants fan and you want to get pumped up for this game, definitely go check out his channel, man. He's lit on 100 every video he posts, man. Thanks for having me on the show last week too, bro.
All right. And also fantasy-wise, I'm stacking Kyler Murray here. Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, and Kenyon Drake, and then I'm going to bring it back with Jamison Crowder. So that's definitely a stack I'm rolling with on DraftKings. And in a couple of minutes here, we're going to get you guys a free DraftKings lineup to play today.
Kyler Murray kind of came back down to earth there. Y'all was talking all that MVP talk a couple of weeks ago. And
sure did.
I told y'all I wasn't quite convinced, even though he has proven to me a little bit more that he could ball out. I like the way he runs out of the pocket. Little speedy guy with a pretty big arm for a little guy, man. But I think they just need a few more pieces over there in Arizona. And if they could build that team on the back of the defense, that would help him out a lot more too, man. It seems like he's the one who's trying to win games all the time.
Last 2 weeks, the Cardinals only scored 22 points a game, and they've had 4 turnovers. So they're trending in the wrong direction from the way they started this season. But with Hopkins, how can you say no, right?
They're saying that he has a stomach virus. So
that's cool. If you win the game, you should be balling.
Traded before the October 29th deadline.
Force a code.
That's crazy. Wow.
All right. So we're going to move on to the Baltimore Ravens game. So your Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow and the Bengals got their first win llast week. They are 1-2-1, headed to Baltimore, who's 3-1. Baltimore is a 13-point favorite. The over-under is 51. Kickoff is at 1 o'clock. Who wants to take this game first?
I'll get this one first. You got it. Go ahead.
I got you, man. This game's very simple to me. The Ravens are a college football offense. They run it to perfection, and they have the best players for it. But all they do is run the football, and this is the best defense to do it against. This 13 points, man. Take that minus 13, run with it to the bank. There's no way the Ravens don't win this game by at least 3 touchdowns. What's the over-under? 51?
Yeah.
Let me go over that, man. I think the Ravens are going to put up about 35 points today.
Yeah.
Give me the over and give me the Ravens at minus 13 or whatever it is.
Yeah, I'm with Scotty on this one, man. I think that Joe Burrow will come out. He'll show that he can play. The kid is definitely a fighter. But the Bengals, statistically, they're not winning back-to-back games in the past 5 years. That's been a problem for them. Even just trying to streak together a couple of wins here. So I see the Ravens just letting them hang around by 2 scores pretty much throughout the game. But I see the Ravens late taking this game and putting up probably over 35 and leaving the Bengals with another loss here. And the Bengals got a tie this year. That's ridiculous. Man, what's up with these
They got
ties?
the same record as the Philadelphia Eagles,
I feel like Donovan McNabb. When Donovan McNabb was like, we could tie? What you mean?
That was so crazy.
It's like, wait, we got another overtime, right? That's like Tom Brady. Hey, that was like Tom Brady on Thursday when he was like, wait. It's 5 downs in football, right?
I thought the ref was going to give it to him. I thought the ref was going to be like, you know what, Tom Brady, give him a 5th down. Give him one.
Yo, ask him, I went back and rewinded. I was like,
we rewinded to make sure that he wasn't wrong.
He's the GOAT. He knows what he's talking about.
If Jordan did that, I'd have been like, yo, there is 5 quarters in the NBA.
For sure.
Oh, man. All right. So, Booms picked that. So, we're going to go let Awthentik touch on this game.
Too. I'm good on that one. It's you
good?
now. Yeah.
You're good. It's on me. All right. I think the Bengals going to come up and play.
I think.
Look, the Bengals are going to cover 13.
Oh,
they might not win. They probably won't win. They're not going to win, but they will cover the 13, I think. I think it'll be really close. Like, it might be a push. They might lose by exactly 13. And I think we definitely hit the over on this, too. Every time I start looking into these games, I feel like I should go back to DraftKings and make another lineup, but I'm not going to do it. But Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson. I'll be interested to see how Cincinnati, plays this game. Joe Burrow, man. Joe Burrow going to put up another 300 yards, I think. I think Joe Burrow puts up another 300 yards. T. Higgins is a sleeper wide receiver. Keep your eye on him. He's been getting a lot more targets. I think I've given up on A.J. Green.
He's on my bench. He's been on my bench.
Yeah, I put him on my bench. Finally gave up on on AJ Green. T. Higgins looks like he is getting more and more targets. He caught 2 touchdown passes. I think it was 2 weeks ago. So definitely keep an eye on.
I don't think AJ Green is done. I mean, last week they missed on a couple connections that were just really close, man. The one in the end zone where he tried to get it one-handed. They just got to get clicking over there. It must be tough with a rookie quarterback when you're a seasoned veteran like that coming back off some injuries. I still got a little faith in AJ Green, about as much as I had in Teddy Bridgewater in about 2018.
Jimmy says this is one of those games you turn on and the Ravens are already up 17.
Right. No, he's not wrong, man. He's not wrong. The Ravens are going to crush the Bengals. It's going to get ugly.
Yeah, all right, we're going to find out soon enough.
The Ravens and the Chiefs are opposite. The Chiefs let bad teams stick around in games. The Ravens destroy bad teams.
We're going to see. We're going to see. All right.
Tim like them Bengals. Tim like them Cardinals. And Tim like them football teamers.
All right. We're going to jump into the 4 o'clock games before we start hitting on our NFC East matchups here. Don't forget, if you have any fantasy questions, put them in the chat. If you're watching us on Periscope or Twitch, we thank you. We will answer your questions too. If you're watching us on Facebook and you need your question asked and you don't see us seeing it, it's because we don't see it. You should probably come over to the YouTubes.
John Cena.
All right. Next game, 4 o'clock games. Miami Dolphins are the only team that has not turned to their number 1 draft pick quarterback, besides the Packers, obviously. They are 1-3, and they are playing the San Francisco 49ers, who are 2-2, surprisingly. And those Niners are only an 8-point favorite. 8 is a weird number to me. And then the over-under is 51.5. Who's taking it first?
I'll take it first. 51, definitely not going to get to 51 in this game. I think this will be more of a defensive game. I'm not convinced with the Dolphins offense. They only got one W on the year. And Devontae Parker, Tim, you've been trying to convince me to pick up these Miami wide receivers, and I'm just not convinced, man. It's just it's Miami, Shout out to Haggerty, man. Your team has been mediocre for a long time here, and I just can't pick them in any game. So I'll take San Fran, and I think they cover the 8. But as far as the over-under, we're not going to get to 51.5. I don't think we get there. It'll be something 20, 21, 13 or something like that.
I still need my overlay for that, Awthentik.
Oh, yeah, man. You got to tell me before the show.
Yeah. Not going to get there.
We're not going to get there. Oh, man, and shout out to my homie Sleepwalker. I wish I could let you guys hear some of these new drops we got. But we got some new drops we're going to be premiering next week on the Parlay, and Sleepwalker sent me some awesome drops, man. This dude can imitate any voice. Scotty, what you got, man?
You got San Francisco as the 8-point favorite. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
And Waterfly, I see you said you got a fantasy question that has nothing to do with football. We accept all questions here at the
I like that. That's right. Yeah.
Any fantasies you can think about, we'll answer them as truthfully as we can with our PG-13 rating on the channel. With that being said, Miami is kind of the opposite of what I was talking about with Arizona. Miami's kind of turning it around. Last 2 weeks, they've averaged almost 28 points a game, 260 passing yards. They've only had 2 turnovers, and they're rushing for over 110 yards a game. 8 points is a lot for San Fran. Garoppolo's just coming back. We know he's good, but he's not that much better than Nick Mullins and C.J. Beathard, if you ask me. I think I'm going to take Miami.
Hot take. That's a hot take.
Taking Miami. I like that.
At
I like
51.5 seems like a ton of points, too, for 2 teams that don't really score that much.
It almost makes no sense.
So I'm going under that for sure.
I think a player to watch in this game is Kittle, because Kittle has 9 100-yard games, and he's never had back-to-back 100-yard games. So
he has
I mean,
nine.
Yeah, he has 9 career. Mm-hmm.
He only has like 20 games played, right? He's only third year.
Yeah, he's a youngin.
That's crazy.
Do you remember what round he was drafted in? Awthentik and I looked this up the other day.
Do you remember it?
I don't. I think it was the 5th round.
I think it was the 5th round too.
Him and Kelsey.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, man. Those teams built really well through the draft, man. San Francisco and Kansas City, they did a really good job. Romeo Crennel was in Kansas City in like 2013 or something like that. They were 4-12. And that team just completely got rebuilt that quick. And now you got a dynasty, a perennial dynasty team over there in Kansas City. And San Francisco, without Kansas City and some other teams in their way, they'd be right there too, man. Kyle Shanahan, probably one of the best coaches in football, one of the best offensive minds up there with Sean McVay and your boy from Kansas City, Andy Reid.
Jimmy G got to get married. Is he still dating like porn stars and stuff?
Oh, yeah, he was dating one of them popular porn stars last season.
That
was the first year he got to San Fran, too, man. They thought that was going to cause some problems. But, it's interesting with Jimmy Garoppolo. He hasn't played like lights out, but like the media over there seem to kind of keep him under wraps as far as like, the people like attacking him. Like I feel like a lot of other quarterbacks get attacked by the media when they're not playing well, like Trubisky, like Daniel Jones. But Garoppolo, something about his swag, they kind of just leave him alone,
He's Hollywood, baby.
Well, that meme that I sent you guys, where it was like Jimmy Garoppolo looks like one of the twin brothers playing volleyball in a Double Mint commercial.
Yeah, he does.
Double your pleasure, double your fun.
Yo, still super funny to me. I mean, look, I kind of like the Dolphins +8 also. 8's a good number if you're betting, the dog here.
Great
Because if you're losing, I mean, you might not get it at 8 right now, but that was the line this morning, like at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock is this morning. That was the line I had. But if you can get the Dolphins at 8, I'm taking it. Just because. But San Francisco off of a loss might be a little hungry. You know what I'm saying? Tight end play in this game. Mike Gesicki for the Dolphins. So I had Noah Fant, who is hurt right now for the Broncos. And I went into the league, to Troy's league, which is the fantasy league. Shout out Troy. Shout out everybody in Michigan, Yipsy. Me and Scotty Booms are in this league.
You say Yip? You say Yipsy?
Yeah, that's how you say it, right?
Yipsy.
Bro.
What'd I say, Yipsy?
You said, come on, man. They gave me the yips. I was scared.
I was thinking about golf because I was talking about Troy. You know how you get the yips, when you
hey, Troy, we got to get out there too, man. I was thinking about going golfing this upcoming Friday, man.
He doesn't want to golf. He's not going to golf with us, bro.
Bro, hey, ask Tim, man. I was surprisingly kind of hitting them. I was kind of.
It took me about 6 holes to get back into
not what I heard.
It was looking pretty good, man. It
not
was
looking
pretty good. Oh, you talking about from Simone? You can't trust anything that man says. You can't trust anything that man says.
Simone, man, hop in the chat, bro. I heard Awthentik.
McGavin, Mike Simone. I don't trust Mike Simone.
I mean, look, tight end played on this game, Mike Gesicki. So I needed a tight end, and Gesicki was available in Troy's league. And Troy's league is so deep, you can never find anybody on the waiver wire. Somebody dropped him. I'm like, Young, I'm taking him. I was surprised, and I cleaned the cleared the waivers with that pickup. That was crazy. So Mike Gesicki and George Kittle.
Yipsy Hustle.
It's terrible.
Good old Matt McGinnis.
Hey, McGinnis said Yipsy Hustle.
McGinnis, man, we need you in every chat from now on, man.
We need to tap that man in.
Yeah, we need you to get your webcam set up. We don't bring you on for an episode, man. We would love to have that.
Crazy side thing though. Rapper Boldy James from Detroit actually made an album, I think like maybe 6 months ago, a year ago, and he rapped Ypsilanti with Nipsey Hussle in one of his tracks.
Wow, that's funny. I ain't heard about Boldy in a minute too. I gotta get up on him.
You know what we should do? Stuff. We should get like a OKZ reunion show on Awthentik and The Beard. We'll bring on Sketchy.
Oh, yeah.
All y'all had y'all own like nicknames. We'll bring on Sketchy Mark. We'll bring on Horatio. We'll get Wes on here. You know, we'll do like a little OKZ. Maybe even Nick can tap in.
What about Matt?
Matt King.
Matt King, yeah. Matt King. I can't even tell y'all this ongoing joke that he has with me. It blows me.
and we'll get my other homie who's a Eagles fan from y'all fraternity. Kilby. We're getting Kilby on too. That'll be a fun time, man.
Oh man, I ain't seen those fools since probably like the Togo party at Frostburg.
We used to go to
Frostburg
and party like crazy at their fraternity. But yeah. So and I have 4 DraftKings lineups for today. I'm only doing 4 lineups. So give me 2 numbers in the chat, whichever one hits that number 2 times in the chat, 1 through 4. I'll give you guys a free DraftKings lineup. Let's move on to the next game. We got one more before 4:00 game before we start getting into the night game and the NFC East games. All right, Indianapolis Colts 3-1 at the Cleveland Browns 3-1. This game is now officially a pick'em game, so there's no spread, and the over/under is 47. Who's going to take it first?
I'll jump on this game, man. So when I was looking at it, the Colts were a 1.5 point favorite. You're telling me now that it's a pick'em?
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
they were 1.5, and now it's a pick'em.
Well, I mean, I like the Browns at plus 1.5. I'll still take them at a pick'em type game. Cleveland's averaging 39 points per game their last 3 games, which is somewhat inflated versus what they did against the Cowboys last week. But still, this offense is really starting to click. At the same time, the Colts got one of the best defenses in football right now. Some people would say the best defense. So it's going to be a good matchup on that side of the ball. I think Cleveland's got too many weapons. They're clicking too hard right now. So give me Cleveland in the pick'em. And I think it's going to be over 47 points. I do think they're going to be able to put up a little bit against the Colts. And Phillip Rivers, though, he's playing well. He'll be able to stage somewhat of a comeback. But I think that the Browns will win a high-scoring but close affair.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think the Browns are going to take this game. And I think it's going to be a matchup between the wide receivers here. T.Y. Hilton, man, has gone 15 straight games with fewer than 100 yards. That's kind of crazy for a guy of that caliber. You got Odell Beckham coming off of 38.4 in PPR leagues. I got Odell Beckham probably for the rest of the year at my wide receiver 2 slot. So I definitely go with the Browns here. You got Nick Chubb out, but I still think they're going to be able to keep that running game clicking. I forget that rookie that came in for Nick Chubb last week.
D. Johnson.
Yeah, and he did pretty well. Not Johnson, though, right?
No.
D. Johnson.
You always got to double check those. There's
I
so
definitely
many
go
of
with
them.
the Browns. And Benny just said Chase Young is officially playing today. That's awesome for the Washington football teamers. I'm going to call y'all that for the rest of the year.
Teamers.
And I want to give a shout out to Marjorie too, because Marjorie's always dropping mad information for us in the chat. So shout out to Marjorie because she's always giving us information as we go along these live shows, and we definitely appreciate all the information that you be dropping. I'm also going to go ahead. I wanted to pick the Colts. I think the Colts defense, I talked about it last Sunday and everybody was laughing at me, and look at the Colts defense did last week.
Nobody done laughed at you, bro. Nobody laughed at you.
Who was laughing at you for that?
They're in the chat. In the chat, they was like, the Colts have a defense, and I'm like, yeah, the Colts got a defense, man. So
Darius Leonard playing though?
Yeah. That's who D Johnson is.
No, Darius Leonard, the linebacker.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the chat. I do not know the Colts. Let me check. Colts inactives.
Is that Bruce Joseph from back in the day? What's up, Bruce? I would not start him. Nah, Kareem Hunt probably gonna get the bulk of the carries over there, and I think that they're gonna operate off the play action once they do get the running game going with Kareem Hunt and keep him there to be able to be a factor in the passing game as well too, man. So
I would throw him in on a DraftKings lineup though, because he's probably dirt cheap right now. So yeah,
his name is D'Ernest.
D'Ernest.
Oh, okay. I was like Ernest with a D.
Ernest.
So T Higgins or DJ Moore?
Ooh, that's tough. Who's Carolina going up against?
Falcons. Terrible secondary. Give me DJ Moore.
DJ Moore. Look, see, there goes Kyle Key talking about Colts have a defense.
Yo, you know what though? The kid, Ernest Johnson, 14 carries for 100 yards, averaging 7.1.
Yeah, he had a hell of a game last week.
That's crazy.
So that is Bruce. What's going on, Bruce?
Bruce, it's been a minute, man. We grew up with Bruce back in the day, man.
Evans Park.
Faithful, bro. Faithful. Shout out Eric Sheridan. You lived in his same house. It was G stuff.
All right, so we're going to hit the Sunday night game and the Monday night game, and then we're going to talk NFC East games. All right, Minnesota Vikings 1-3 at Seattle Seahawks 4-0. The Seahawks are only a 7-point favorite. The over-under is 57. Booms, what you got?
Minnesota's been playing better recently. Rookie Justin Jefferson starting to show out. If Cousins can get rolling with this offense, I do see them keeping it close. Seattle's obviously been scoring tons of points. Russell Wilson, early MVP favorite. But I think Minnesota's, this is a Kirk Cousins special. Being a Washington guy, I can tell you firsthand, Kirk Cousins loves to fall behind by about 3 scores in the first half and then, make it about a 3-4 point game at the end to get his contract nice and big for later on. I'm going to take Minnesota +7 over 57 points. I think it's going to be a high scoring game, but I don't think Minnesota is going to get blown out. So give me Minnesota +7.
Really?
Yeah, believe it or not.
See, I like Minnesota's run game. They finally realized like, hey, we have Dalvin Cook, and Kirk Cousins doesn't have to turn the ball over 5 times a game if we just give the ball to Dalvin Cook.
I'm hating. Kirk Cousins is playing.
I know. Yo, the only reason why they have to go and rely on that running game is because they lost their number 1 wide receiver in Stephon Diggs, man. That's major.
Yeah.
We see what happens when you lose the number 1 wide receiver in New York. You saw how that affected the running game.
Kirk Cousins hasn't been playing as good as he has been in the past. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
We have 2 bad games, I think. He started the season with the 2 bad games. Only threw it like 10, 12 times in one of them games or something crazy too. But
so, I think Seattle comes up and I think they bounce back after that sloppy performance against Miami. I think they definitely cover the 7, and I'm going to take the over. Justin Jefferson, we've mentioned his name a bunch of times already today. Play this kid. This kid is on fire. Seattle, though, now I feel like I should be playing Dalvin Cook in a couple lineups. He's super expensive on DraftKings. So, everybody picked number 3. So I'm going to give you guys my number 3 out of 4 lineups on DraftKings.
Pick the game real quick.
I did. I picked.
All right, then let me get my score and then we'll go to that. As far as this game, I think that the Seattle Seahawks are going to lose a game really soon, right? They've never started 5-0 in franchise history, but I don't think that this will be the game. I just think Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, they've been playing lights out. I don't see them getting to, is it 57? It's 57. Yeah. I don't see them getting to 57. I don't know. The Vikings, I just can't see that offense putting up a ton of points. But like you said, with the rookie wide receiver, Justin Jefferson, I believe it is, he's definitely been balling out, making some big plays for them. But I see this game just under 57. I'd say about 54 total. And I got the Seahawks winning that and covering.
Okay. So my number 3 lineup is actually my sleeper lineup. It is Kyler Murray at quarterback, Zeke Elliott at running back, Antonio Gibson at running back, Jamison Crowder at wide receiver, DeAndre Hopkins at wide receiver, Christian Kirk at wide receiver, Mo Alley Cox at tight end, Hunter Hurst at the flex, and the Browns is my defense. That's my sleeper lineup.
People are sleeping on Kirk Cousins.
Have you been getting any updates on these sleeper lineups, how they've been doing, man? You know,
I've been hearing a lot of the same players. I did not cash last week. All right, so
Mo Alley Cox. I've been hearing that name for 5 weeks.
I give you one more lineup. I'll let one of you two pick. Number 1, 2, or 4.
I'm going 4. That's the number, you know.
Okay. Teddy Bridgewater, Kenyon Drake, Kareem Hunt, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, Calvin Ridley, Ian Thomas, McKinnon, and the Colts defense.
Sure.
I like it.
I don't like the first 2. What was it? Drake?
I think he has a bounce back game, man.
Drake?
He's cheap too. He's only $5,700. That's crazy for a starting lineup, a starting running back.
I feel you.
All right, let's get to that Monday night game. We got the Los Angeles Chargers. Justin Herbert is officially the new quarterback for forever for the Los Angeles Chargers. And the New Orleans Saints are 2-2. They are 8.5-point favorites. The over-under is 50.5. What y'all think?
That's a lot of points, man. 8.5, 50.5 points. They got faith in Herbert, and rightfully so. I believe he's the first rookie to come in and throw 300-yard games to start his career. Like, the kid's been balling out, no doubt about it. Saints looking not suspect, but Drew Brees is not the Drew Brees of old. I think everybody can agree that he's definitely showing his age a little bit. I believe Michael Thomas is coming back. I'm actually praying he's coming back because I got him in my lineup. I drafted him in the first round. He's been killing my fantasy team. With that being said, give me the Chargers at plus, you said 8.5?
Yep.
Give me Chargers at plus 8.5, and they're going to go over the 50.5 points. It's going to be a shootout. Both quarterbacks over 300 passing yards. But I do like the Chargers to keep it close. I'm taking too many underdogs today. I'm really
I feel you.
Man, this is a mistake, but give me the Chargers. I'll stick with it.
Chargers, huh? Okay, I'm gonna take the Saints in this game. 8.5. I think they'll cover that. What's the over here?
50.5.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to 50.5.
We're gonna get there.
Drew Brees, man, started off the year pretty slow, but last week on his throws over 20+ yards, he was 5 of 8. He only had 7 throws before that on the whole season over that. So I think Drew Brees comes back with a bounce back game here. And if Michael Thomas can come out here and do something, I mean, that's just going to aid to their passing game. Alvin Kamara is definitely a start. He's been top 10 on fantasy every week of this season. So definitely keep Kamara in your lineups, man.
I'm going to take the Chargers plus 8.5. I think the Chargers are a lot better than that 1-3 record.
You know what's been keeping the Chargers popping is Keenan Allen. Yo,
I mean, he's always been one of the most maybe not underrated, because if you know
underappreciated.
I like that. That's exactly better. Yeah, I like that.
He's there every year, every game, every catch, deep in the middle of the field.
Dude is a quarterback's best friend, man. He's always around the ball. He's always making plays, and I love the yak that he gets after the catch. It's just crazy.
And
man.
I think that's what you have to have a guy like that when you have a rookie quarterback.
Who can we compare to that? Because I was thinking about this last week. Yeah, I was thinking about what kind of wide receivers are still playing like Keenan Allen. That they're not that, bigger physique, but they play physical. Keenan Allen's a very physical wide receiver. I think Thielen is kind of close, but don't got the kind of explosiveness or speed, once he catches the ball.
What about McLaurin? You think McLaurin has a little Keenan Allen in him?
A little bit. I think it might be a little bit early, but with McLaurin, it's like,
what about like
abandoned kind of wide receiver for a quarterback.
Yeah.
With the rookie over there and with the Chargers, he can just no one open, go to Keenan Allen. You got a good chance.
He's like one of those tight ends that you have on your team, like a Zach Ertz, George Kittle, Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
Like Allen Robinson. That's not a bad comparison.
What about Devontae Parker? The last
not good enough. Not good enough.
Devontae Parker's been he's changed his.
What about Devontae Adams?
He's had 24 points in the first 4 games here in fantasy. Devontae Adams is kind of like that. Yeah. D-Hop's kind of like that a little bit too.
Yeah.
maybe more
D-Hop
explosive.
is a lot tougher than I think people give him credit for.
Yeah, for a while there, I thought D-Hop was like 6'4", 6'5".
Zachary Halter, man. Zach
Would you
Halter.
guys?
Yeah, I like Herbert, man. Give me Herbert. Just
I'm taking Herbert also over Goff, especially with Chase being healthy.
And Rams are going against the Washington football teamers today. And you got
Metcalf.
healthy Chase Young
Metcalf
coming
is
back.
a good comparison too.
But you know what it is with Metcalf? Don't got the hands. He don't got the hands like Keenan Allen to be across the middle and really make those catches in traffic.
That's interesting from you because you're a big Metcalf guy.
Oh, I wanted the Giants to get DK Metcalf. I thought he was a no-brainer pick, man. But and I like him. He's more of a down the field kind of guy to me, though. More like Mike Williams over there with the Chargers, actually.
I'd love to see him touch the football field at some point. He's just like, come on, man. What's he been doing?
I know.
All right, we're gonna touch on this game briefly because as Marjorie pointed out in the chat, the NFL is expected to make a decision on this game within the next few hours because there was beats have been provided by.
Hey, shout out my man Ethan. This is an old one from Beef and Broccoli 2011 release.
I'm about to straight.
Yeah, man.
So we're gonna find out about this game in a couple of hours. Staff member for the Tennessee Titans tested positive for COVID this morning.
What are they doing? What are they doing over there, bro?
Not wearing their mask. You know, if they called this thing herpes, I bet you everybody else would be wearing their masks.
Wrong.
So yeah, we're going to the game is not on the board for gambling yet. If you have any players in this game, I would keep an eye close and hope nothing happens. I know I got some Stephon Diggs. If this game gets played on Tuesday, I think Buffalo wins. I think Buffalo is the real deal.
I mean, Buffalo is good, no doubt. Josh Allen, he's the MVP candidate. Not a lot of people are talking about, but he's right up there. And he's the reason that like a lot of us NFC East fans have been saying, give these quarterbacks a little bit of time because Josh Allen was literally completing like 47% of his passes in his first 10 games. So it's like, why are you benching Haskins now? Enough of the Redskins talk, though. Give me Buffalo.
I think I'm going to go Tennessee in this game. This is going to be a tough test for the Bills. You know, I think this is their season test right here to see if they're completely a legit team that could go into the playoffs and maybe even go deep into the playoffs and maybe make a run here. I give a little trivia real quick that I just peeped here. Quarterback Josh Allen tied the longest streak in Buffalo Bills history with his fourth straight game of 280 passing yards and multiple touchdown passes. Who do you think that other quarterback was?
Beard, go first. Go ahead and take the guy you think.
I would have to hear the question one more time because I was putting the overlay up.
Okay. Last week, Buffalo quarterback Josh Allen tied the longest streak in Bills history with his fourth straight game of 280 passing yards and multiple touchdown passes. 4 straight weeks, 280 passing yards, and multiple touchdown passes.
I know
the only other quarterback to do that in Bills history.
Okay, so it would be too easy if it was Jim Kelly. So I'm going to say Rob Johnson.
Wrong.
Okay.
Wrong.
What you got, Scotty?
The answer is Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Oh!
No?
Is it Doug Flutie?
The only other instance of that for the Bills was Drew Bledsoe in 2002.
Bledsoe.
I knew that was going to get y'all.
I knew that was going to get y'all.
Which is crazy.
All right.
Man, that's killer. I thought I had that.
That was a good one. Right? That was a good one, Awthentik. So it's the time a lot of you guys have been waiting for here in the chat. We have some Cowboys fans. We have some Giants fans.
Look, I hope y'all can see that right on cue.
Trinidad
That's
James.
my bum-ass brother who's a Cowboys fan calling me right now.
Zeke.
Hey, Mike Borsko, you're live on Awthentik and The Beard. You got any Cowboys talk to tell me this week, bud?
Nope, sure don't.
Think you guys going to get this win?
As a matter of fact, I don't even know right now. My team's so unpredictable. I don't know what's going to happen, man.
Hey, I like that. That's a very pessimistic thinking, man. But I'm gonna definitely hit you up when the show go off, man. And hopefully we can get this dub, and I can talk a lot of garbage to you a little bit after 7 o'clock.
Don't gamble on Dallas.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Man, he's been a Dallas Cowboys fan since I came out the womb. So you heard it first here, man. Mike, I'm gonna hit you back in a few, bro.
Yeah.
All right, fam.
Salute, shooter.
Oh, so surprising. That's the shooter voice for those that don't know when he's talking like this. It means there's trouble in Dallas. So don't put your money on the Cowboys today. Definitely put your bread up on them Giants right on time. Didn't you just announce this game?
I literally just announced the game.
That is crazy. That is crazy, man. That's crazy.
All right.
Low-key watching right now. That's what
I know, right?
Who wants to take this game first?
What's the spread? 9.5?
Oh, yeah, I got to say all that. The Giants, New York Giants, 0-4. The Dallas Cowboys, 1-3. They are 8-point favorites, and the over-under is 53.5 points.
Oh, yeah, because that Dallas offense, I was about to say.
When you got McAfee and you unsubscribe to it when it keeps coming up, is that like I gotta uninstall it or something? I think on here.
Oh yeah, McAfee is they are a virus, bro. They put that stuff on your computer so that when it expires, it turns into a virus that says, "Give us your money. We need your money because you got a virus. So we gave it to you."
I'm not a computer guy. I need Awthentik to come through my studio over here. And
I got you, man. I got you.
My PC is trash. So yeah, give me the Giants minus 9.5. This has been kind of a special week for New York Giants fans. I've been tuning into a lot of their podcasts. Cop Hizzle, obviously, Awthentik guest starred on there a couple days ago. Give me the Giants. I think they're going to keep it close. They might even win this football game, so I'll definitely take them at plus 9.5. It's also going to be over 54. Giants defense is playing well, so they might hold the Cowboys to 30. But on the flip side, Cowboys defense has been terrible. So looking for the Giants to score at least 2 or 3 touchdowns to break that streak they got going. So give me the over and give me the Giants plus 9.5. Go ahead, Awthentik.
I like that pick, Scotty. I'm going Giants for the dub here. I'm putting all the pride on the line here. The one thing that I will say about this Dallas defense that might be a little surprising is maybe the reason why their passing game as far as stopping the pass has been so terrible this year is because they've played some really, really, really good offenses this year. Everyone that they have played has been a top 15, top 13 offense. You know, you're looking at Rams, Seattle, what was the other squad? Oh, the Browns. The Browns was the one team that was out of the top 10 that they played. Atlanta in the top 10 as well. So I think that their defense being so terrible, we might need to pump the brakes on it just a little bit because they are facing some incredible offenses here. But I'm going Giants all the way. Bounce back game from Daniel Jones. I want to see 2 passing touchdowns, no interceptions. I want to see us get this running game clicking early, going to Devonta Freeman, this 3-headed horse we got going here with Wayne Gallman and Deion Lewis. I need to see it clicking. I want to see it on all cylinders. I want to see this defense flying. James Bradbury. I want to see Blake Martinez all over the field. I will be tuned into the entertainers play-by-play during this game, 4 o'clock, prime time. Make sure you are right in front of your television for this game. This is going to be a must-see game. I promise you the Giants are going to turn it around this week, week 5, and we're going to start making this playoff run in this dismal division.
Whoa,
something's in the water, boy.
That's a lot to digest. Look, I until the Cowboys show me any sign of defense, I mean, as bad as the Giants offense has been, the defense for the Dallas Cowboys is one of the worst defenses I think I've seen in recent years. So I myself am going to take the Giants plus 8. They might not win, but I'll give them the plus 8. And I'm going to take the over. It's 53.5. I'll take the over. Let's gamble.
Yeah, take the over.
Let's gamble.
It's plus 8 now?
Yeah.
I had it written down as 9.5. I'll still take the Giants at 8.
Somebody was saying earlier if the Cowboys get to 40, they'll win the game. And I do agree with that. But we're not going to let them get to 40 today. This Giants defense is lit. We top 15 right now. Playing very surprising football. Had one big play to Cooper Kupp that just ended us the other week there. So I see the Giants defense coming out strong again. I got big faith in Patrick Graham. He reminds me of a football player, and I got a lot of faith in him. I think he's going to be able to get this defense playing even better than they played last week. Look out for my man Ryan Lewis on that other corner. I feel like he's been very comfortable out there. And Darius Slayton, big game today.
Big game, yes.
Big game
Big
today.
game. We've been talking about it.
Yeah, Slayton, I mean, if anybody's going to show out for the Giants receivers, it's going to be Darius Slayton because Golden Tate, man, I'm done with you, bro. He can't get
I feel you. More. He needs to be – Golden Tate can be that second guy if Darius Slayton can show that he can be, the guy that's making the premier wide receiver plays because Golden Tate, he's getting about 4 or 5 catches a game, which is pretty solid. If you can bring in 70 yards, get a touchdown here and there, that'll be really good if Darius Slayton can get things clicking on full cylinders. But The Giants offense, man, we've been bad. We've been last pretty much in every category as far as offense goes here. Daniel Jones, 3 straight games with an interception and no touchdowns. Got to clean it up. I got faith in the kid, man. I think he can play the position right now. He doesn't quite have all the weapons around him, but I think today he shows up in this divisional matchup, and we need a game called by Jason Garrett today. I want to see his best game of the season today.
So Jaden Medina says, do you start Darrell Henderson or Malcolm Brown? I'm going Darrell Henderson.
We've been riding that Darrell Henderson train for a while.
We have.
Legit. But, I mean, you're talking about Washington football team front 7, you know.
I would not be playing either one of them, but if you had to play one, I'd probably pick Darrell Henderson.
I would too.
That's who I would go with. So the next game we are going to touch on, NFC East, is the Philadelphia Eagles 1-2-1 in first place at the Pittsburgh Steelers 3-0. The Steelers are 7-point favorites. The over-under is 44. Kickoff is at 1 o'clock. Who you got, Awthentik?
I got Pittsburgh in this game. I mean, Pittsburgh's defense is playing lights out. They were off for 1 week here, but they will be the sack leader in the NFL. And right now, number 1 in sacks is the Philadelphia Eagles with 17 going into this game. Pittsburgh has 16. I see a big game from this defense. Bud Dupree was a problem in week 1 for the New York Giants. I think he's going to be even more of a problem here for Carson Wentz. I got the Pittsburgh Steelers in this game. I think they'll cover. Over under is 44, and I think we're going to get there.
Booms.
I don't know what I was thinking. I picked a lot of underdogs, but these 7-point spreads are big. The NFL likes to keep games close. The closer the games are, the more fans stay tuned in. That's more money for the league. So I'm seeing a ton of 8.5, 7.5, 7-point spreads. Give me Philadelphia, man. Carson Wentz, we talked about it on Tuesday. He does more with less. They have less right now. They have absolutely nothing going in Philadelphia besides Miles Sanders and some practice squad receivers. So give me Philadelphia at +7. I think Pittsburgh's going to win the game, but I think it's going to be low scoring and close. So I'll take Philly +7 and give me under. It's 44.
44, yes.
Yeah, so give me under 44, but give me Philly +7. Low scoring game. Pittsburgh's going to win though.
I think this is going to be a rout because the Steelers are coming off that extra week of rest, and the Eagles are just.
You guys hate the Eagles.
I don't. I picked them to win the division.
Now, it's not that I hate the Eagles because honestly, if they were playing any other team, I might pick them to win this week. But Pittsburgh, man, it's just 3-0 and not playing. They're rested up. I really like this Steelers team. Big Ben's had it clicking. With I want to say it was 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, or 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I just like the Steelers team built around defense. And I think it's just something about that culture over there and them jerseys and them colors, man. They always got a good defense, man. I need a little bit of that in New York. I need that today, too. But I'm going Pittsburgh in that game just off the simple fact of the defense. And y'all know what it is with Awthentik. Defense wins championships, man. And Pittsburgh is going to be there in the end, I believe.
Shout out to David. He wants to know, do I flex James Conner or Keenan Allen? Keenan Allen.
Hey, let me give you a little bit about that defense, about Pittsburgh, too. Since week 15 of the 2017 season, just once has a player rushed for 90 yards against the Steelers in Pittsburgh.
That's why they're always successful, man, because they're like the Patriots and they just have a identity. You're not going to run the football against us ever. You're not going to do it.
Yeah. And you see how they can just plug and play running backs. I mean, you had Le'Veon Bell over there who had his best years, obviously, with the Pittsburgh Steelers. When he leaves, you get James Conner coming in there. He balls out, and he balled out the last year Le'Veon was there on the holdout as well. And then when James Conner got hurt, I forget who filled in for him, but that dude balled out too. You can just run the ball and stop the run. That's Tom Coughlin style football, man. I love it.
When you have a good organization and a good system in place, more positions become interchangeable. And running back's obviously one of those main positions. If you got everything else set up, you can really put anybody back there, and they're going to make it work.
That's facts.
Yep. I don't think you could have said that any better. That is so true. What does this one say? Beats are fire. I love this. Thanks, I love this new thing going on.
I like that. It's good for the parlay. I'm digging it, yo. I'm digging it, man. That's an old
my second time here, man.
Can I see the fire image one more time, though? Like, let me see your fire emoji, your handwritten fire emoji.
Oh, that's the fire that's in the woods out there in Cali.
Oh, hey. We love y'all out there, man. Hope y'all doing well.
They struggling out there, man.
All right. It's that time. I don't think I missed any games except for this one. It's the Washington football team. The Los Angeles Rams are 3-1, 7.5-point favorites at Washington. I just put Washington.
Yeah,
1-3. Over under is 46.5. Kickoff is in approximately 37 minutes. Woo! Which one of you gentlemen would like to take this task on first?
This is quick for me, man. I got the Rams on this one. The funny thing about the Rams is that they have played every team in the NFC East, and if they could take care of the Washington football teamers today, that'll be a clean sweep of the NFC East. So I'm gonna definitely go with the Rams here. I think they've managed to beat some NFC East teams here without even playing well. Giants held them to 200 yards passing last week, and I want to say it was 68 rushing yards, and they still managed to win the game. Giants beat them in almost every category except turnovers. So if the Rams could take care of the ball, I got them winning this game. I think the formula for Washington to win this game, though, would be, Chase Young and the rest of them boys up front getting some pressure on Goff. And number one, you got to stop the run against the Rams, man. Like, they've managed to run the ball pretty decent this year without the right running backs, without any big names. But yeah, give me the Rams. I think 7.5 might be a little too high. I got this game 24-21 Rams.
So you got the Redskins at plus 7.5?
Yeah, and I don't think we'll get to that 46 either.
Yeah. I got to agree with Authentic here. Josh Allen played last year for Carolina. We've never seen him play for the Washington football teamers. McLaurin's out there. He might be the best receiver that Kyle Allen, has ever played with. I'm going to mess that up all season.
That's like me with, what was the one I was doing like that? Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald. QB1. Allen.
QB1, Allen.
No, but I think Washington is going to come out today. They're going to do all right. I mean, I don't think they're going to beat LA, but at the same time, they'll keep it close. There's no footage yet on Kyle Allen taking snaps for Washington, so there's really not a lot for LA to game plan against. They do have a good defense. They got some phenomenal players, but give me Washington at plus 7.5, and it's going to be over 45.5. I think Washington's going to actually score some points today, just because I said no one's got footage on this kid yet, so nobody knows what they're going to do.
This beat make it sound like y'all going to win.
I love this beat for right now. It's like getting me hyped and it make me bad.
Triumphant, like, we can make it, Washington. We can make it.
The Beard, man. What do you see?
If you watch us on Authentic and The Beard Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m., you'll know that I'm pretty sure I picked the Rams to win this game. I think it was like 31-10. Do you have any of those notes in front of you, Booms? 31-10 or 30.
I got so many papers sitting around me right now. I don't know.
Is it 31-10 or 31-17? But the news that Chase Young is active, I still think the Washington football team will lose this game. Although I am hoping they win, obviously.
Yeah, man, the way you said that on Thursday, I'm hoping they win. I was like, dang.
Look, for those of you that didn't see my Dwayne Haskins, little talk on, what was that, Tuesday, I think it was? Or Tuesday or Thursday? It was Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah. Go ahead and check it back out.
That was a good episode.
But
man.
I will tell you that they were lighting me up in the group chat.
Big time. Big time. Big
So
time.
the funny as well was with the holding on the chair.
Yeah. He was on the wheelchair vibe the whole joint. Dwayne Haskins hasn't played more than 13 games. Yo. Hey, yo.
Oh, so yeah, that was a good one. But I'm gonna take. Oh yeah, what Steve said I was doing this too.
Clapping every word.
That's another one. When someone does this, they're getting ready to fight. If somebody starts clapping like this, they're getting ready to swing on you.
That's that Steve Smith.
I'm gonna take the Washington football team plus 7.5. I'm gonna take the under at 46.5.
Hey, stop playing with me, bro.
Chase Young, if you're healthy, I expect 3 sacks today.
Hey man, I hope he's not rushing back off that injury just to try to get back and prove himself, because he's a solid player and we know he's going to be a staple in that Washington defense for
He took a week off, man. He's straight. He's good. He's 21 years old. Come on, you remember when you were 21? You remember?
I remember when I'm 37, and I'll tell you, when I get an injury, a week. If I had a week to be off and I could come back, it wasn't a real injury. You feel what I'm saying?
All I'm saying is when you were 21, I know you were out there. You were hitting the clubs late night, doing your thing, and then getting up the next morning, Oakland Terrace, playing football for 3 hours, 2 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah, and trying. Y'all know I'm an OT legend. Come on, I'm out here, man.
When you're young that age, you can bounce back quick. Chase Young going to do all right.
I hope so, man. I hope so. And he's like freakishly like he's like Benjamin Button vibes. He's like an adult in a kid's mind state with an adult body. And he's just, I don't know, man. He might be jumping the gun coming back a little too early here. I just hope that ain't the case. What was the injury with him? Wasn't it a groin? Oh, man. Old man Authentic, I know about that groin problem. I had a groin problem when we were playing basketball like 2 seasons ago. I was like, bro, I'm out for about 4 weeks, man. 4 weeks with the groin.
35-year-old Authentic's a little different than 21-year-old Chase Young, too. So.
Can't forget I'm Haitian, man. We heal fast.
It's rapid fire time. We got 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 minutes left on this show. My man Johnny Moxon is watching over on Periscope. Varsity 42 wants to know if it's Joe Burrow or Drew Brees.
Ooh. I'm going Drew Brees. I gave you the stat earlier, man. 5 out of 8 on the passes over 20 yards in one game. I think he's gonna light it up today, and you got to expect Kamara to be in the passing game as well, which will help Drew Brees when he throws a 2-yard screen that goes for 50.
I don't know. I think the Saints are going to be up, and they're going to feature Kamara heavy. On the other side of the bill there, I think Joe Burrow is going to be down to the Ravens, so they're going to be chucking that thing a lot in the second half. If A.J. Green is back any type of way and T. Higgins over there, give me Joe Burrow. I'll take Joe Burrow.
I'm also going to take Joe Burrow. I think you see 50. I think
love Joe Burrow.
I think you see 50+ pass attempts from Joe Burrow this week. So I like volume when it comes to fantasy, and that's a lot of volume to me.
We don't speak French in Haiti. We speak Creole, right?
Yeah, and some French. So it's like when in the hoods, they speak Creole. In the bougie spots, they speak French. You know what I'm saying? My folks from La Valle.
Kisa.
I
remember these.
Hey, Sac Passe Benny. Shout out my Dominican brother Benny in the building. I don't know if Monique is in here too. Shout out, y'all.
Does anybody know what the over-under is on Kyle Allen's turnovers today?
I'm going to say...
There's a line out there for sure.
Half. It's probably 1.5.
1.5 sounds about good.
I'm taking the over.
I think Kyle Allen's going to come out and ball. I mean, he's going to keep that game close, man. I like Kyle Allen coming into this season, but I think if you were going to make the benching on Dwayne Haskins, man, y'all should have just went Cam Newton. You see what Cam's doing, and he probably wouldn't have got COVID out here, man.
McGinnis called them seal claps.
Yeah, them joints is the seal claps. Like you ain't got no fingers, you just got the seal flaps. That's facts.
Okay, here we go. McGinnis has got another one for us.
What up?
He wants to know McKinnon or David Johnson.
Ooh, both of those are tough.
I'm going Jared. Is Mostart back? I think he is.
Is he back today?
I think he is. Ooh, that's tough.
McKinnon.
Ooh.
You going McKinnon still?
McKinnon.
I mean, yeah, Texans never managed to run the ball well, man. They kill me with that. They need to help Deshaun.
All right. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to give you all 30 minutes to figure out your lineups. We want to thank everybody, as always, for joining us here at Awthentic and The Beard. Every Sunday, we're here answering your fantasy and NFL betting questions at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget, Tuesdays and Thursdays, we are on at 7 o'clock. Stay tuned because we might have a little time adjustment this Tuesday if that game gets played. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook. And while you're here in the chat, hit that thumbs up for us. It definitely helps us a lot. And we appreciate all the love and support. Shout out to everybody watching us on Facebook, Periscope, Twitch.
Yeah, shout out to Facebook.
Scotty Booms, Authentic. What did you got to say?
Have a beautiful day, everybody. Enjoy your football. Hope your team wins. Check us back out on Tuesday for our recap show, man. It's going to be great.
Listen, man, we've had a lot of weeks here where we've had a lot of losses from the NFC East. Let's cross our fingers today, man. I'm going to be rooting for the Washington football team and Kyle Allen at quarterback. I want to see them do well. I want to see y'all get a W today. But most importantly, let's get this win, Big Blue Nation. The Giants got to go in here and get this W against the Cowboys. Let's set the pace for the rest of the division bums to be able to have a chance here. The Eagles are leading the division with 1 win here, along with 1 tie. I think the Giants going to come out hot today, man. We cannot fall behind early in this game. Let's run the rock. Let's get this W. Go Big Blue.
Go Big Blue.
With that being said, enjoy your football Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. Peace from Awthentic and The Beard.
Peace out, y'all.